Hello, 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 and welcome to another live ukulele jam with me, Matt Stead. Yeah, super exciting. We've only got two more of these before the cruise now. I've got a little counter up there, 12 days to the next cruise, and 362 if you want to come next year. We're going to have a really lovely Kanikapila today. We can do all songs about being off school because it's a half-term week this week with my kids. So I thought we'd be too cool for school is the idea. So yeah, sounds like it's quite cold in a few places. It's pretty cold here. It's kind of about 5 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. But I heard from Karen earlier up in Canada, similar to Harry, I guess, and she's at minus 28 degrees Celsius today, which is just like I can barely even comprehend being that cold. It's just mad. Aloha from the middle of the Pacific. Aloha. Brilliant. Pam's up in chilly Yorkshire. Joe's here. Fantastic. Well, I hope you're all keeping well. So we're going to have loads of fun today, and then we've got one more Kanikapila next week where we're going to have a theme of flowers for next week. And then we'll be off for 2 weeks whilst I do the cruise. I'll try and send lots of photos and kind of updates from the cruise, so you can, if you can't make it, you can get an idea of what we're all up to. So that should be fun. And then I'll be back in the middle of March, I think, after that. So it should be good. Right, I'm just going to check that I've not got anything else running because Barbara was just saying I'm buffering. Let me have a look. I'll just make sure I've not got Internet Explorer or Google going in the background. That should help. And chilly and cloudy Colorado as well. I've just turned my Google off, guys, so fingers crossed it should get a bit better in a minute. So let me know if it doesn't improve. Fingers crossed it will. Hi Tim, fun's going on Oahu. Not very cold over there then. You lucky thing. Let me tell you about a couple of things before we get started on our just as a kind of demo. And John Lennon always felt like he never got it quite right. And then when they put it on Let It Be, they basically just let Phil Spector have a go at it, and he put strings on and stuff, and he took the speed down. But it's such a beautiful song, such gorgeous chords and such beautiful poetic lyrics. I really like it. So that's the next one on the Beatles course. It's available now. I think there's 8 lessons on there now if you fancy taking part. Hopefully I'll have another one before I go away. If not, we'll definitely have one as soon as I'm back. And then our next live lesson is going to be this Wednesday, this one coming up, and we're going to have a Q&A. The last time I did a Q&A, it was really fun. Loads of people came and asked questions and got involved, and I managed to ramble on for like 2.5 hours or something like that. So we're going to do the same thing again. So any questions you've got about your learning, it might be a specific thing you're struggling with or how to practice and things like that. I'll talk you through some of the best ways to do so, but I'll also take your questions. If you have got any questions in advance, email them over to matt@theukeroom.com. So matt@theukeroom.com. And yeah, go and send them in advance. You can also ask questions on the day as well, but it's really nice to have a load to get me going. And we have already. Couple of other things. Don't forget to check out, I need to get a flyer for it, but my Spanish adventure that I'm running with Matt from the Awesome Ukulele Academy in May is going to be super exciting. And of course we've got a cruise for next year. I'll put this again on the Facebook page because a couple of people have asked about it, and on the website and everything. So yeah, fantastic. Okay then guys, let's get going for tonight. Some brilliant drawings from Esther in here, by the way, and I love that she's put me in my school cap. I didn't wear a school cap, but I did have a Cubs cap, which looked just like that actually. So well done, Esther. And she's put well done, A+. I think that's the first A+ I've ever had in my life. A couple of people have said they've had sound issues, and then a couple of people, and Karen said it's okay where she is. What's happening with the sound, guys? Is it just is it too quiet or too loud? Is it coming in and out? Let me know and I'll see if there's anything I can do. Might have to just unplug my mic and plug it back in. Just let me know, guys, and I'll see what I can do to fix that. So you guys know how this all works by now, but just in case you don't, we've got our Kanikapila sheets and we give our chords numbers 1 through to 7 in any key. So in the key of C, such as this one, C would be 1, D 2, E 3, F 4, G 5, A 6, and B would be 7. Some people the sound's working and other people it's not. So that's really strange. I'll tell you what, I'll just try changing to another mic and then I'll go back. See if that helps. Let me see, and I'll go back to and let me turn it up a little bit as well. Okay, that should help a little bit. So so we number our chords and we call those Nashville numbers because this all goes back to the Grand Old Opry, where bands would come on as a scratch band and back a singer, and they would be able to give them directions to how the song goes really, really simply and easily, which is where it comes from. And each of these chords, no matter what key you're in, has a personality. So the 1 chord is kind of, it feels settled and it kind of sets you off on a journey. It's the one that all the other chords try to resolve to, which is really nice. The 4 chord, which is the next one we've got in this song, in this case F, C, D, E, F, that creates a sense of change without too much drama. And in a lot of folk songs and indie pop songs like this, that the verses, they kind of change between C and F, or 1 and 4, which no matter which key you're in. Looks like the sound sorted itself out, so that's good. Fantastic. Thanks, Pam. And then we have the 5 chord in this song as well, C, D, E, F, G, and no matter what key you're in, the 5 chord just creates a sense of tension. All right, and then that's resolved when it goes back to the 1 chord. So each one of these chords has its own personality, and if you get used to that, you can kind of predict what's coming up in a song. By the way, guys, a couple of people have said if they refreshed their browser, it got rid of the sound problems. So just hit refresh. You can always come back in, and it seems to have worked for everyone. I don't know what was going on there. The wonders of the internet, hey? It's good when it works and annoying when it doesn't. So let's have a look at a really simple example. So the first song we've got is a song by Obscura. These were really cool indie pop bands that were around, started in the 90s, went through the noughties, were when they're most popular, disbanded for a while in 2016 when Kerry, the keyboardist, sadly passed away, and they've recently got back together. And I saw them supporting Belle and Sebastian a few months ago, and they were absolutely superb. And they wrote this song called Suspended from Class. Funnily enough, I won't bore you with the story too much. Maybe I'll tell you the story at the end. But I was once asked to perform on a folk show for the BBC down in Devon, and they said it was going to be in a nightclub, so I presumed it would be a bit raucous. And I prepared all these songs, and I decided to do a cover of this song. What I didn't realise when they rescheduled it for the morning as opposed to nighttime, everything turned a little bit more gentle. And basically, long story short, this song has 1 swear word in it. It's not too bad one, it's arse. And I sang arse several times live on the BBC and got told off for it. So there's my story of this one. But it's a great song. Let's have a look at the verses. So we start with the 1 chord, as we often do, don't we, when we start these songs, which sets us off on the journey. That's the one that sets the stall, if you like. We've got 2 measures of that. So, hi, Bob. We can count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We briefly go to the 4 chord for a sense of change. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to the 1 chord. 2, 3, 4. Next section, we go to F again. 2, 3, 4, back to C. And then notice the tension of this G major at the end. It kind of of feels like it's asking a question. And that's something that we often get, the 5 chord at the end of a line or at the end of the verse, which we've got here. We're just going to strum this really simply with down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. That's your classic calypso strum. Walk and walk and running, walk and walk and running. You could tap it out for like tap, 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 slow, 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 quick, quick, slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? So just a general calypso strum. If you struggle with that, just strum up and down. That will be absolutely fine as well. Just keep strumming up and down in time with me and you'll be fine. So the verses, for instance, go 1, 2, 3, 4, C, C, F and C, F and C again, and then a G for 2 measures. And we do that again. The 1 chord feels at home. 4 chord gives us some change. Back to the resolution. Change. Back to the resolution. And then our 5 chords. Really simple, right? Really simple, but really beautiful. Then in the chorus, remember when we go to a new section, when we go to a chorus, we tend to use either the relative minor or the change chord, the 4 chord. And what happens in this? Well, the pre-chorus goes to the 4 chord, that's an F. And notice that this pre-chorus just goes between the 4 and the 1. Change to resolution. Change to resolution. And then the tension at the end of the G asking a question. And the pre-chorus is basically the same, only we go to 4 to 1 3 times, F to C 3 times, like so. Okay, fantastic, really nice. So really, really, really simple, that one. Now let's have a look at the intro. The intro is really sweet. Notice we've got some tablature here. So just every now and then I'll do a tabbed part just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. And this is what happens in the original. So we're playing what we often call stacked thirds. That just means a low note and then another note that's a third above. And it happens commonly in a lot of music. So here we're playing the 8th fret of the E string, which is a C, and we're playing the 7th fret of the A string, which is an E. And we call that a third because C, D, E, they're a third apart. Then we come back here to an A note and a C note, like so. Notice I'm just strumming the bottom 2 strings with my thumb like this. Again, another third, A, B, C. Then we come back to here, F and A, 1 and 0. F, G, A, another third. And then we go up here, just move your index finger up to the 3rd fret and pop your 2nd finger down. And this time we strum the middle 2 strings only. And again, that's a third because we've got an E here and a G here, E, F, G. Okay, so if you put that together, we have this, 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 and this. It's kind of like, it feels like you're going down a slide, doesn't it? Da, 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 da. And then once we've done that, we go to the lovely little intro where it's all types of C chord. So the first one is a normal C chord. And then after 2 beats, we put our finger down here for a C sus4. A C sus4 is just a C chord where instead of playing an E note, we play an F note, which is the 4th note of the key as opposed to the 3rd. So we call it C sus4. Don't worry, sweat the fear if you're not interested in that. It's absolutely fine. Then we go to a C5, which is here, like so. And back to that C sus4. The reason this is called a C5 is the only notes that make it up are C, G, high C, G. So it's only the first and fifth of a chord. That's why it's called a C5. So basically we go. In effect, on the E string, we're just doing off 1, 3, 1. Off 1, 3, 1. Off 1, 3, 1. Isn't that lovely? A lovely little introduction. If you put that together with the pick part, give it a go if you want. Join in with me after 4, 2, 3, 4. And fantastic, that's it. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So we're basically ready to start playing this one. We're just going to have a quick look at, just in case anyone wants to have a go at a solo on this one. We're in the key of C on this one, so you can solo with the C major pentatonic or the A minor pentatonic. You could even solo with all of the notes from C major, but that's a little bit more difficult. In terms of the C major pentatonic, it's open C, an open E, 3rd fret for G, open A, and 3rd fret for C. And if that seems complicated, all you need to know is if you hit any of those notes in any order, it will work. Add a bit of rhythm and it will sound even nicer. And notice you can also combine that with the A minor pentatonic, which is your open A, string nearest the floor, C on the 3rd fret, D here on the 5th, E here on the 7th, G here on the 10th, and A here on the 12th. The brilliant thing about that is it's all your dots, right? Which makes it really easy to remember and to play out of. And you can also do all your dots on the E string. Just remember, not the 7th fret. For that one, we go up to the 8th fret. So if you wanted to, let me just get a backing track going. When we do an instrumental part, which is just going to be the chorus played instrumentally, you can just join in with that. It'll sound something like this. Let me just have a look, see if I can get my backing track. There it is. Okay, so if you wanted to just do your dots on your A string, it would sound like this. Introduce some lower ones. Have a little bit of fun. You don't have to do as many notes as that. You could just do 2 or 3 notes, but it's a lovely way just to get you kind of doing a little bit of improvisation, and it really brings the song to life, I think, when we do that. So in terms of those, we're going to go verse, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then an instrumental. I remember the instrumental, if I go back, is just the chorus chord. So if you're strumming rather than doing a solo, just do another chorus for the instrumental. And then verse, chorus, and then 2 instrumentals, verse, chorus again. So relatively simple to follow through. And a lovely picture there of Tracy Ann and Kerry from, this was from an album called Underachievers, Please Try Harder. And that's the cover, which is really nice. Well done, Esther, that's beautiful. Okay, let's give it a go, guys. If it looks as if I'm staring off into the distance over here, it's just because I've got the lyrics written over here so I can see what to sing. So let me just get those ready. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, remember, little introduction at the start if you can. That would be really lovely. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Such a beautiful writer, that's not all you are. I'm sorry about making a pass. It was subtle, but I think that you grasped the meaning intended. I can be a friend to you, I won't pretend. I'm not interested in breaking your heart. It's not love, no, it's nothing like that. I'll leave that to lookers like him. Pre-chorus. I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. Try an instrumental, hit those pentatonic notes. Or strum the chords for the chorus. Just a little solo this time. Bring it to a close here, and we'll do another verse. We could go out dancing if truth it is the last thing that I have on my mind. Please say if I'm way out of line, I won't need telling twice. Another verse. Now he wants to kiss, he says he can't resist. You're gonna have to keep it hidden inside. I've got a feeling that pigs might fly, pigs might fly. Pre-chorus. I should do such a terrible thing. Oh, there's no pre-chorus here. Sorry, chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suspended from class. Sorry guys, I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. What, Wally? And an instrumental, guys. And again, keep those solos going. Verse now. You're such a beautiful writer, that's not all you are. I'm sorry about making a pass. It was subtle, but I think that you grasped the meaning intended. Chorus. I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. Just keep doing F and C now. I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. So notice that last chorus, we just keep going between F and C, no G at the end for that one. Because I made a complete balls up of that, I think we should do that once more because it's such a short song and it's so sweet. So there's no pre-chorus after these verses. That's what caught me out. It goes straight to the chorus. All right, let's give that another go because that was so sweet. Remember, we've got a little intro. One more time, folks, from the start after 4, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. We're going to get it right this time. You're such a beautiful writer, that's not all you are. I'm sorry about making a pass. It was subtle, but I think that you grasped the meaning intended. Another verse. I can be a friend to you, I won't pretend. I'm not interested in breaking your heart. It's not love, no, it's nothing like that. I'll leave them to look as like him. Pre-chorus. Oh, he's such a delicate thing. Now it's such a fragile thing that we have. Chorus. I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. Take an instrumental. Another verse. We could go out dancing, but in truth it is the last thing that I have on my mind. Please say if I'm way out of line, I won't be telling twice. Now he wants to kiss, he says he can't resist. You're gonna have to keep it hidden inside. I've got a feeling that on to the last verse, guys. You're such a beautiful writer, that's not all you are. I'm sorry about making a pass. It was subtle, but I think that you grasped the meaning intended. Now FC, I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. I should be suspended from class. I don't know my elbow from my ass. And then let's finish with an F and a C. Yeah, well done everyone. We got it right the second time. Well, I did anyway. You guys didn't make a get in a muddle the first time probably, but I did. So we had to do that justice. I promise that wasn't a sneaky way just to get you all singing arse over and over. I hope for my American folks that's not too rude, because it's not really considered too bad a swear word over here. So just in case. So, oh no, Karen's been really cold. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, that elbow from my arse is such a great line, isn't it, Beach? I love it. It's proper indie pop, that. Yeah, that little kind of those little sus chords at the start, Tim, they really make it, don't they? Which is really, really lovely. So yeah, what a great song. If you're interested, as I say, that's they're touring again, Camera Obscura, and they're just such a great band live. Sharon, my wife, she used to play in a band before we first met, actually, and in my band. That's how I met her. But she got to play with Camera Obscura a few times on the indie pop scene, which is pretty cool. And they're lovely, lovely people. So, and that album was in part produced by Stuart Murdoch from Belle and Sebastian, and we're going to have one of those songs a little bit better as well. Thanks, Rebecca. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if Tracy Ann sings it as ass or arse. I think it's arse, but yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go on to something new. Okay. So next up, we've got some classic Beach Boys, and this was one of my favourite Beach Boys songs from their early period. Later on, they became quite creative, and you'll know from some of my live lessons where we looked at some songs from Pet Sounds that they actually started to become really complex and sophisticated, particularly Brian Wilson's own songs later on. But early on, it was all kind of girls and cars and surfing, wasn't it? Well, this is a song about basically just, flying your school flag and, cheerleaders and all that sort of stuff. And it might seem a bit odd that these guys were singing about school, but when they started, I think Brian was 16 when they started out. David Marks, when he went on the first tour, he was their bassist for a while, and guitarist, and he was 14, I believe, when they started. So actually, they were singing about stuff that was really true to them. They were at school until their career suddenly launched into the stratosphere. So it kind of makes sense. And Brian Wilson was really into a band called the Four Freshmen, who were almost like a barbershop group. They had these really close 4-part harmonies, which were really beautiful. And they used to sing a lot of doo-wop songs. And in doo-wop, the most common chord progression is 1-6-2-5. All right. And this goes back to jazz music and George Gershwin's I Got Rhythm. He was the guy that popularised it. Some people think George Gershwin invented the 1-6-2-5 progression, but there is evidence that it was around before. He just popularised it. But it's a real classic progression that's used in a lot of jazz music. So this time we're in the key of G. So G is going to be our 1 chord. And we just count up. Every key has sharps or flats in it, apart from the key of C. G has 1 sharp, which is F, but we don't play it, so you don't have to worry. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and back to G again. And remember that the 1, the 4 and the 5 chords tend to be played as major chords. The 2, the 3 and the 6 chords tend to be played as minor chords. And another hint for those is if you ever see the Nashville number in undercase, that means it's a minor chord as well. Because some people, when they do Nashville numbers, don't actually write the chords in at all. You kind of have to work them out in your head. And knowing that it's undercase tells you that it's going to be a minor. So we start off with the 1 chord, which is a G chord. Let me just get the lyrics up so I can sing that as well. So we open with just these down strums. When some loud braggart tries to. Then we go to the 6 chord. The reason that comes after the 1 chord so often is that there's only 1 note different. So it's a real smooth change. Now, remember my trick going from G to E minor. You can just put your little finger down on the 4th fret of the C string. G, E minor. Or if you find that difficult because you don't have too much strength in your little finger, just swap out here. Okay. When some loud braggart tries to put me down. Then we go to the 2 chord, in this case A minor, G, A. And tries to put me down. And then 5 for that tension at the end of making you want to go back to the start. And says his school is great. And then we go again. What's the matter, buddy? Ain't you heard of my school? It's #1 in the States. Now, depending on whether you're listening to the album version or the single version, I can't remember which is which, that's where the cheerleaders come in. So there's a little bit where it breaks and it goes, rah, 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 sis boom, rah, which I find a bit cheesy. Or in the other version, there are some beautiful Beach Boys harmony where they just stay on that D chord for 2 measures and we get, ah, ah, just classic Beach Boys rising harmonies, which is lovely. And that's how I'm going to sing it. So that's the intro. And that's also very similar to the verse. In fact, let's just have a look at a verse now. So we're going to scooch down to this bit down here. It's basically the same thing. Look, we've still got a 1, 6, 2, 5. Only this time, the 2 chord, rather than being played as an E minor, is being played as an E minor 7. The part of the reason Brian uses a lot of these minor 7 chords, like his idols, the 4 freshmen, is that they have 4 notes in them. An E minor only has 3 notes. An E minor 7, because it has the 7th note added, has 4 notes. So it opens up the chance for some extra harmonies, basically. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Because Karen's got cold hands, and we probably all have, a bit of a hand warm-up can be good. Magic way to get the blood running into your hands, and it's the easiest thing of all. Just put loads of tension in your hands. So just like let all the tension go and they're soft like this. Then loads of tension in your hands and wrap your fingers in one at a time like this. And then let the tension go. And look at this, it's like magic. Can you see the blood rushing to the end of my fingers? You can actually see them going red. It's such a clever way to warm your hands up and get the warmth going. So there we go, Karen, see if you can warm your hands up that way. Otherwise you're going to have to wear mitts. Okay, so rather than an E minor, in the verses we have G. And then in E minor 7, now that's really nice because all you need to do is take your ring finger away, whichever finger was on the E string. Then we go to an A minor chord, just like before. And then for the next measure, instead of just playing D, we have half a measure of A minor 7. A minor 7, remember, just no fingers at all. And half a measure of D. And generally when we have 2 chords in a measure, that's what we do. So I'll give you an example. The verse, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah? Let's just try them so you can see how it works. 1, 2, 3. I got a Letterman sweater with a letter in front. I got for football and track. I'm proud to wear it when I cruise around the other parts of the town. I've got a decal in back. So be true to your school now. And then we go to a chorus. Nice, right? Isn't that a lovely progression? I love a 1-6-2-5. Proper jazzby, but poppy as well. And like I say, sorry guys, like I say, doo-wop bands love that. So Blue Moon is pretty much the same thing. So let's have a look at the chorus. Now, we're still starting in G for the chorus. Be true to your school now. Then we go up to a B7. Now, that's another really common thing to do, is to go from the 1 chord to the 3 chord. It happens a lot in classical music, believe it or not. And I mean proper classical music, going right back to like Mozart and Vivaldi. It also happens a lot in jazz. We call it tertian movements. Our ears just like the sound of thirds. So normally in the key of G, the third would be a B minor, but we're playing it as a B7, which is really, really nice. Now, the great thing about a B7 is you can just think of it as an E minor moved up towards your nose. Here's an E minor, here's a B7. Same chord, same fingers, just 1 string higher. Then, because they're so often paired up, it's a really good thing to get used to going from B7 to E minor, because the 6th chord often follows that 3 chord like that. Okay, so 2 measures of each of these, 2 of G, 2 of B7, 2 of E minor. Then we've got 1 measure of C7, which is a common chord in G because it's based on the 4 chord, but it's been played as a dominant 7th, which again, that's a real barbershop quartet thing to do. So, and it's also used a lot in blues music. So Brian was also influenced by people like Chuck Berry and Little Richard. So classic thing there. Just lift that finger up here for the A7. Then we have the 2 chord again, A minor, touch melancholy. And then the 5 chord, just D for tension. And when we go back to G at the start of the next verse, that creates a 2, 5, 1. Another classic combination of jazz chords. 2, 5, 1. You'll hear that all over jazz music. Let's have a go at a chorus so you can see how it works. I'll stay on close cam. 1. Come in on a word, school. So be true to your school now, just like you would to your girl or guy. Be true to your school now, and let your colours fly. Be true to your school. And then we're into another verse. Yeah, fantastic. I love these chords. They're so natural sounding, but so kind of cool and funky at the same time. In the back, in Karen's brilliant Fascinating Facts, she talks about the fact that some of the lyrics even reference Hawthorne High, where the 3, in fact, I think most of the Beach Boys went, because you had the 3 Wilson brothers, Brian, Carl and Dennis, who all went to Hawthorne High. And then you also had David Marks, who was their friend from across the street. I believe he went there. And their cousin Mike Love, who I think went there as well. And Al Jardine, who was there at the start and then got replaced by David Marks and then came back again. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. Just nerding out for a minute. So that's your choruses and your verse, pretty much. I think we're pretty much there. The outro is just the same as the intro, almost, just without those 2 Ds at the end. So you literally just do that 1-6-5 progression again and again. Ra 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 sis boom ra, ra 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 sis boom ra. Just G, E minor, A minor. Okay. Now you could do most common time strums for this will work. I think I wrote down earlier, yeah, I'm going to do a walk, walk, running, running. What does that mean? That's just walk, walk, running, running, walk, walk, running, running. You can also think of it as down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. You can even just strum up and down on this one. You'll be absolutely fine. Just stay in time. You'll be okay. Now, if you want to solo to this one, you've got a couple of options that I just wanted to show you, because some of you guys have been doing Kanikapila for quite a few months or even years now. We passed our 100th Kanikapila recently, believe it or not. And so you might want to try a little bit of a more complex solo. Now, if you're doing what we normally do in the key of G, we would normally play a G major pentatonic or an E minor, because the two go together. Let me just, where is it? It's hiding here. Oh no, I hadn't got to it, sorry. There we go. There, oh, 1, 2, 5. So here's, these are all on your scales and reference sheets. Karen's working on a new version of these. They're completely free, really, really useful. So do check them out. You can download them for free. So G major pentatonic, the easiest way to play it starts right up here at the 7th fret of the C string for G. Then we go up to the 9th fret, back to the 7th, and in Drani's right, it's the My Girl, 10th, 7th, 10th. Okay, so you can play those notes in any order, and that's your G major pentatonic. And it's the same shape as the C major pentatonic we're just doing down here, only instead of an open string, we have closed strings up here. You can also combine that with the E minor pentatonic, which is its relative minor, don't sweat the theory, 4th fret to 7th, 5th fret to 7th, 5th fret to 7th. Really nice way of lengthening that out so it fills up the fretboard, which is nice. So that would sound something like this. If I get my backing track going, let me try it. Notice how kind of pop-tastic this sounds. Let me have a go. Here we go. It's got quite a kind of a pop-tastic sound when I do those. Now, if you want something a little different, because a lot of these chord progressions are used in the blues and early R&B, like thinking things like Chuck Berry and things like that, what we can do is we can play the G blues scale over the top, which is this one here. So here we start at fret 7 on the C string, only instead of going to fret 9, we're going to go right up to 10. And then on this string, the E string, we're going to play 8, 9, 10. Hear that bluesy note there. And then on the A string, we're going to do 8 and 10. You could do some bends with this. Okay, and you can do the same shape back at 4 to 7. If you want to. Now these scales, they have a bluesier sound to them, which is really interesting. If I play 2 solos, I'll do the first half of the solo with the major pentatonic, and then I'll do the blues, and see if you can tell the difference. The blues should sound a lot grittier. So major pentatonic, now in the next one, I'll do G blues. It's got a kind of a grittiness, hasn't it, the blues, that the major pentatonic doesn't have. So if you've been doing Kanikapila for a while and you get a little bit bored of pentatonics, which can happen, have a go at the blues version in this and have loads of fun. And remember, you can only hear yourself. If you've got partners or pets, who cares, right? Let them enjoy it, even if it sounds horrible. None of us can hear what you're doing, so go wild and just have a load of fun. So yeah, new booklets coming soon. Karen's been working really hard on that. Thanks for all your hard work on that, Karen. So let's put all this together then. So remember the first bit, the intro, we're just going to do simple down strums just once per measure. That builds it up. And then when we get to the D, we're going to do our walk, walk, running, running. All right, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Now, in terms of the structure, we've got that intro, then a chorus, verse, and then a chorus. Then we've got the instrumental, and yeah, just checking, that's based on the chorus chords. So we'll play the chorus and you guys can solo over that. And then another verse and chorus, and then the outro is just the chorus chords or the intro chords just over and over. All right, let's give it a go. Let's have loads and loads of fun with this one. This is such a great song. Let me just bring the lyrics up. Won't be a second. There we go. Okay. Here we are. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. When some loud braggart tries to put me down and says his school is great, I tell him right away, well, what's the matter, buddy? Ain't you heard of my school? It's #1 in the state. So be true to your school now. Chorus. Just like you would to your girl or guy. Be true to your school now and let your colours fly. Be true to your school. I got a Letterman sweater with a letter in front. I got the football and track. I'm proud to wear it now when I cruise around the other parts of the town. I got a decal in back. So be true to your school now. Chorus. Just like you would to your girl or guy. Be true to your school now and let your colours fly. Be true to your school. Take a solo. Or strum a chorus. Here we go. Come Friday we'll be jacked up on the football game and I'll be ready to fight. We're gonna smash 'em. My girl will be working on a pom-pom. She'll be yelling tonight. So be true to your school now. Just like you would to your girl or guy. Be true to your school now and let your colours fly. Outro. Ra 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 ra, spin ra 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 ra. Ra 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 ra, spin ra 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 ra. Ra 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 ra, spin ra 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 ra. Ra 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 ra, spin ra 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 ra. Yeah, fantastic. Well done, everyone. Let me know how you got on with that and put a message in the comments and I'll bring you on the screen. Oh, it's going a bit red there. That's quite a fast one, that, isn't it? It's good fun, though. I love the Beach Boys. It's the reason we do so many Beach Boys songs. I just think they're all so great. You've got all that fun kind of early surf and car songs and just like the energy of it. You know, almost like early R&B. And then you've got the sophistication of Pet Sounds onwards and all the crazy stuff they did. I even like cheesy 1980s Beach Boys, believe it or not. So there we go. Let's take a quick break. So just a reminder of a couple of things that I mentioned at the start. I'm just going to mention them again quickly here. So we've got our next Beatles ukulele lessons. Across the Universe, John Lennon song, which is really beautiful, and I spent ages and ages on this arrangement, so I really hope you enjoy it. I think you will. It's one of the more accessible fingerstyle arrangements that I've done. So there are some tricky parts, but generally it's a lot easier than the other fingerstyle ones I've done for the Beatles. So do check that out. That's available on my website, mattsteadukulele.com, and you can join the course. There's 8 songs on there, but eventually there'll be anywhere between 20 and 30 eventually. So we're gonna go for it. So let's have a look at what else we've got going on. Yeah, me too, Rebecca. Absolutely. Oh, Smile is just incredible, Beach. I remember the first time I heard Smile and it just blew my mind. I had like a demo compilation of it, the Odeon one. And yeah, some of the songs, things like Wonderful and the chord structure and Heroes and Villains. And my favourite one is Brian's original version of Surf's Up on piano. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing, isn't it? So this Wednesday as well, come and join me for a Q&A. So we're just going to chat for a couple of hours about how to get the best out of your learning. So if you find yourself stuck on a plateau and you're not sure what to do next, if you can't work out how long you should practice for, if you're struggling with anything in your ukulele learning, let me know. You can message me in advance at matt@theukeroom.com, matt@theukeroom.com. I'll write that out actually, because just in case. Send your questions in advance, but you can also send them on the day as well in the chat. And I have got some worksheets, which is taken from an earlier workshop I did on there we go, I just put it on screen for everyone, taken from an earlier workshop I did on how to practice, and we're just going to use those as a starting off point, but we're going to have lots of discussion and I'll give you lots of tips and help with your learning. So that's going to be this coming Wednesday at 3:30. If you can't make it, it will still be on my website. If you go to live lessons and then click fortnightly workshop archive, there's hundreds of these. You can go back through them and take part in them anytime you want to. I remember all my gold and silver members, you get the worksheets at no extra cost as well. It's included in your subscription. Don't forget, we're going cruising again next year. We've got 12 days before we're on the cruise. Wow, it's mad to think. I'm going to be in America in... No, I had to think about it. 8 days time. I'm going to be in America in 8 days time. That's mad. But if you missed out on this year, you can join us again February 13th to the 22nd next year, where we'll be learning loads of great ukulele, and we're going to be going island hopping from Fort Lauderdale to St. Kitts and Antigua, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. Loads and loads of fun stuff. So that's going to be a whole heap of fun. All the details, we've got a flyer here of the prices and whatnot. And if you're interested, you can either call Donna on 613-761-3097 or email dcurtis@bellnet.ca. But this is all on the website as well. Just go to my website, click on events, and you can find all the details, including this flyer. And then just a couple of other things. I'm starting to add to an events page on my website. If you just go to my website, mattsteadukulele.com, and click on events, you can learn about all the things we've got going on, because we've got the 2 cruises over 2 years, obviously being organised by Donna and Harry. We've also got the festivals, we've got the retreats that I'm organising, which you can learn about. I've also got some personal appearances where I'm doing sets and workshops at Shriekfest. I'm going to be doing one with Alex from Southern Ukulele Store down in Bournemouth. We've got that coming up, details to be confirmed. And also I'm going to be doing one of the Isle of Wight weekends as well. So loads of stuff to check out. Go to my events page and I'll try and keep you posted as well. So there we go. So I'm flying into Fort Lauderdale this year, and then we're going off on the cruise from Fort Lauderdale around the Caribbean. So yeah, super excited. I haven't got too long in America, just a couple, the whole time I'll be there, but you know, on the Caribbean Sea and stuff. But just a couple of days in Florida, which is going to be really, really lovely. Ted, I think we've got about 40. I can't remember exactly, but I think we've got about 40 for this year, which is great. So it's going to be a really nice atmosphere. And people of all levels, if you're worried it'll be too hard for you, don't sweat it. I'm going to do some really simple stuff. So all of the lessons will kind of happen on a couple of levels. So beginners can strum along. And if you're more advanced and you want a challenge, we'll have things like soloing and fingerstyle to challenge you. So something for everyone, guys. So don't panic either way. I'm going to make it loads of fun. And we're going to have a songbook that we're going to strum and sing from as well, which is going to be great. So come along if you can. And yeah, and don't forget the Spanish adventure as well, which is going to be great, down in Andalusia, happening in May. We're going to stay at the beautiful village of Galcin. You can even see Africa. That's how close it is to Africa from there. And we're going to have 3 or 4 days of brilliant learning and fun and open mic, all in the beautiful environment of Andalusia. So details on the website again. Oh, Harry says 44 people on the cruise. So there we go. That's great. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, right. Let's crack on with Kanikapila then. So I'm going to switch up. So we've got another indie pop band now, and I didn't do this on purpose. It just so happened that songs about schools, apparently it's a real indie pop thing to sing about them. So Belle and Sebastian are probably my favourite band of all time. I think I've seen them live more times than any other band. Some of you might know that this last summer after the retreat, because I'm a little bit mad, we had the ukulele festival for 3 or 4 days, then the retreat for another 3 days, which I organised. And then rather than relaxing after that, I drove the whole family the very next day up to Glasgow, and we went to see Belle and Sebastian play. And we stayed up there, we saw them twice. So totally nuts, but I love them so much. So they were around in the 90s, started around 1995, and their first album was called Tiger Milk. In fact, I'm wearing their t-shirt of it. And it was originally just recorded as a college project by Stuart Murdoch, and he got various friends and musicians to come and join him. And they released Tiger Milk. Only 100 records were released on vinyl, and those original records, they're worth up to £1,000 now. They're really rare. Well, there's only 100 of them, right? So their next album, If You're Feeling Sinister, came out later the same year, and that was the first one that I heard, and I heard them on the radio and whatnot. So I heard Tiger Milk because someone sent it to me on a little cassette all the way from Canada. So someone that I got chatting to on a very early kind of mailing list, they sent me this lovely tape of Tiger Milk, and it's so precious to me. I've still got it, still got this cassette, and it also had a lovely compilation of other indie songs and stuff on the other side, which was really special. So that album's really special to me, and it's a beautiful album. I really recommend checking it out. And this one's a really beautiful song, just played mostly on piano with Stuart singing over the top, which is really lovely, and it's just gentle and just gentle and gorgeous. So I hope you'll enjoy this one. It's called We Rule the School. It's just about some graffiti that Stuart saw and then he wrote a song about, which is really lovely. So let's have a look then. Oh yeah, I meant to say as well, I'll talk a bit more in detail at the end, but the kind of getting that original cassette in the post was really special to me, because it was like something actually tangible that I could play. And nowadays I've been thinking a lot recently how we stream music, and sometimes we forget the beauty of physical media, because there's something special, isn't there, about putting a tape in a machine or a vinyl, you know, putting a record on your record player, or even a CD into the CD player. And I used to be in record clubs where I get CDs and records through the post, which I really loved. It was so nice getting something tangible. So something that I'm going to start up probably later this year, and I'll put all details on my website, I'm going to start a CD club. And you can sign up as a member, and basically I'll send you a CD either quarterly or monthly. I haven't decided what I can do yet. And it will be a couple of songs from either myself or other ukulele players. And then I'm going to handwrite on really nice cardstock all the chords and lyrics and kind of any tabs that are involved. So it's almost like a little mini Kanikapila that you get through the post and you can do yourself. And I just thought it'd be really nice because the only post I get nowadays pretty much is magazines, which I love, but bills. So I thought it'd be something really nice. So I'll put details of that on the website and Facebook when it's ready. But yeah, it's going to be loads of fun. Just thought I'd mention it because I was mentioning the tape. All right, let's have a look at this one then. So in terms of the chords, it's relatively straightforward. We've got a lot of tertium movement again. Remember, tertium movement just means chords that go up in thirds. So we start with C, which is our tonic, because we're in the key of C for this one, our 1 chord. Then we go up to the 3 chord. Now this chord in any song, no matter which key you're in, it creates a sense of sadness to it, and this chord should really tug at your heartstrings. It's the reason that what's his name, Brother Is really emphasises it in his version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It makes it really, really melancholic. All right, so let's have a look. Oh, Ted's got an idea. Is it okay to write the number of times the verse or chorus is played? That's a great idea. Yeah, I'll talk to Esther and Karen and Barbara and Indrani to help me out with sheets and see what we can do, Ted. So leave it with me. So we go from the C chord, our 1 chord, whoops, up to the E minor chord. There's your tertium movement, C, D, E. And as I was just saying, that creates a real sense of sadness. Then we go up another 3 because we go up to the 6th chord, which is an A minor. And then we fall back down to E minor. So we call that all tertium movements. From C we go up a third to E, in this case E minor. From E we go up a third to this A minor. And then we come back to E minor again. All right, so C, E minor. Now you can prepare your E minor whilst you're playing this C by at any point getting your first finger here to make it easier to transition. Okay, do you see how I'm doing that? So from C, you can just pop that one down like this. Fantastic. Oh, Harry's watching. Is that ice hockey, Harry? Nice. And then we go to A minor, back to E minor. Then we've got a really common set of chords, similar to what we had in the first 2 chords, in fact. In the first 2 songs, in fact, we've got the 4 chord, the 1 chord, and the 5 chord. F, C. Now, it could end there and feel resolved, but we have the 5 chord, in this case G, for a bit of tension. All right, I'm going to show you a picking pattern and all sorts to this one in just a minute, but just to give you an idea, that will sound like this. On a beech tree rudely carved, and C was here. Why did she do it? Was she scared or was she sad? And then again, on a beech tree rudely carved, and C loved me. Why did she do it? Was she bored or was she pushed? And those are the verses. They just go round and round. And in effect, that's most of the song. Basically, most of the song is just that verse over and over. Now, we also have these little instrumentals. Again, really, really similar chords. Now, this first set is based on, do you all know Pachelbel's canon in D? That kind of it's played at loads of weddings, isn't it? Well, these chords are the same sequence used in Pachelbel's canon, and you can hear it. And loads of bands have used these chords in parts of the song. The Pet Sounds did in Pet Shop Boys did in Go West. Go West, life is peaceful. Go West, life is peaceful there. Go West in the open air. The Farm did in All Together Now, all together now, all together. So it's a real common set of chords, and it all goes back to classical music and Belle. I'm not even sure, that might even be Baroque music, thinking about it. So we've got C, then G for tension, the 5 chord coming in next. Then A minor for melancholy. And then the sadness of the 3 chords. It's very emotive, isn't it? Those chords, they really elicit a response. And I think that's why they're used at so many weddings. Then after that, we've just got the 4 and the 1 chord again, just like in pretty much all the other songs. F to C, resolution, change, resolution, 1 more, change, resolution, and then the tension at the end of the 5 chord. Okay. Now the next, that's for your first instrumental, which comes in after the 4th verse. We have 4 verses in a row, and then your first instrumental. Then we have 3 verses in a row, and then we have our second instrumental. If you compare the two, it's basically the same thing, only we only do F, C, G once on this one, whereas we do it twice in this one. And this one we play the whole thing through twice. All right, so you just play through those chords. You guys might be soloing at that point anyway if you want to. All right, main thing, if you remember this verse over and over, this is the main thing really. This is almost the whole song in its entirety. The outro is really nice. We've got these little NC marks, can you see, on that first line? And NC in music, it stands for no chord. And I've probably said this a million times, but I think it's slightly misleading. It shouldn't be no chord, it should be 1 chord, because we strum the chord once at the start of the measure. And then we just count out the rest of the measure like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we start strumming on the F and C. Notice this is really similar to what happens in the chorus, in the instrumentals as well. And then we end on a C. That will sound like this. I'll show you the intro. Call me a prophet if you want. It's no secret. You know the world was made for men. You know the world was made for men. You know the world was made for men and not us. Okay, just like that. Really, really beautiful. Now, if you want to do a strum for this one, you can do that calypso strum. That's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Walk, running, I'm running. Walk, running, I'm running. Again, you can just strum up and down as well. Be absolutely fine. Okay. But if you want to do a picking pattern to this one, there's a lovely simple picking pattern we can do by picking the middle 2 strings. I like to use my thumb and my index finger like this. And then you do the outside 2 strings. And we call it an inside-outside pick, or at least I do, because it's inside strings, outside strings. And you literally do them one after another like that. Inside, outside, inside, outside. C, E, G, A for strings. See if you can get the speed up a little to about there. Okay. Now just let me check. I think we do those twice per measure. Yeah, you're going to do that pattern twice through per measure if you want to. Now this is only if you want to. If you don't feel confident enough to pick, just strum. I'm going to start picking and then start strumming in a later verse to make it a bit more interesting. But that would look and sound something like this. Let me just get my lyrics up. On a beech tree rudely carved, and sea was here. Why did she do it? Was she scared? Or was she sad? Okay, just like that if you want to have a try. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to play this song. I think it sounds really, really gorgeous. All right, so just a reminder, one more time, we've just got that verse 4 times. Then we've got the first instrumental, then verse 3 times, and then the second instrumental, and then finally the outro, all right, which is kind of like the instrumental chords, slightly different. Okay, let's give it a go. We're going to just strum C as an intro, or pick C, if you're picking with me like this. Okay, let's have a go. I'll have to drop my uke down. Here we go. And I'll just get the lyrics ready. Oh, if you want to do a solo, I almost completely forgot. Sorry guys, I just show you this quick because I'm probably desperate to play it now. If you want to do a solo on this one, because we're in the key of C, it will be the C major pentatonic or A minor, the same as we did for the first song. So from the C string, that's off 2, off 3, off 3. Or you can do all your dots along the A string. And because this one's nice and slow and melancholic, you can really take your time with this one. Take it slow. Okay, so you don't have to do like a million miles an hour on this one. Take it really nice and slow. Just do a few notes here and there. Let's give it a try then, guys. So let me just, I'll put the chord sheets up on this one, and then we'll, yeah, there we go. And then we shall give it a go. Okay, here we go. Let's just pick a C to get us going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Oh, sorry, I haven't got my lyric sheet ready. I think I know this one off by heart, but just in case. Sorry, guys. I'm ever so sorry. There we go. All right. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. So C. 2, 3, 4. On a beech tree rudely carved, and the sea was here. Why did she do it? Was she scared? Or was she sad? Sing again. On a beech tree rudely carved, and the sea loved me. Why did she do it? Was she bored? Or was she pushed? Sing again. Do something pretty while you can. Don't be a fool. Reading the gospel to yourself is fine. Do something pretty while you can. Don't be afraid. Skating a pirouette on ice is cool. Take a solo, guys. First instrumental. Use those pentatonic notes. Start to bring it to a close. Get ready for another verse. On a bus stop in the town, we rule the school, written for anyone to see and to read. On a bus stop in the town, we rule the school, written for anyone with eyes in their head. Number 1, do something pretty while you can. Don't fall asleep. Driving from California to New York. Second instrumental. is no secret. You know the world was made for men. You know the world was made for men. You know the world was made for men and not us. Yeah, fantastic. Really, really lovely. I love that song. I love this whole album. Tiger Milk's just such a wonderful album. It's actually my second favourite album. If You're Feeling Sinister's my first favourite, but Tiger Milk's my second. I just absolutely love it. Stuart from Belle and Sebastian wrote a book called Nobody's Empire recently, and he's on a book tour. I think he was touring the US with it recently. But I think he had to come home for some kind of family emergency. But I've not read the book yet, but I know it's had some really good reports. Thanks, Harry. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Let me know how you got on with that one. Really quite unusual song, wasn't it? But really, really pretty, I think. I love some of those lyrics. Doing a pirouette on ice is cool. It's just really lovely. Okay, let's have a look at our last song for tonight then. We're going to do, this is one of my favourites. This is REM. I think this is from 1996. I think, let me just check. Yeah, 1996. This one's from my favourite REM album, Automatic for the People. I think the second side, especially, of Automatic from the People is just incredible. Oh, thanks, Pam. Yeah, please do. Check out Tiger Milk. You can get it on all your streaming services and all over the place now. So check it out. See if you can get it. So yeah, this next one's from Automatic from the People. That second side to it, it has Man on the Moon, Night Swimming, which is absolutely beautiful. Find the River. It's such a gorgeous sequence of songs. I think it's lovely. This one we're just going to do with a gentle calypso strum, exactly the same as the last song if you're strumming it. Okay, that's walk, running and running, walk, running and running. Okay. So nice gentle song. This one's written about the comedian Andy Kaufman. Many of you probably know the story of Andy Kaufman. He was really intense and kind of a little bit crazy in a good way. And he used to really push his audiences. Sometimes he kind of faked stuff, and he used to pretend that he was on stage when it was actually his manager. All sorts of crazy stuff. He had that whole thing where he invited female ladies to wrestle against him, and he took it really seriously. He played the Carnegie Hall, and he opened with like 15 minutes of bongo drumming. It's just completely out there, but absolutely brilliant. My favourite clip is where he does the what's that? The Mighty Mouse bit, where he puts the record on and he just lets it go, and then whenever it gets to Mighty Mouse will save the day, he starts singing. Anyway, if you're interested, check out the film with Jim Carrey, Man on the Moon, and this is in the soundtrack to that as well. It's a brilliant film about a really interesting person. So let's take a look at it. As I say, just a really simple strum. Now the verses are easy peasy lemon squeezy. We just go between the 4 chord in the key of G, that's C, G, A, B, C. Remember, all you need to do is use your digits if you're not sure on the numbers. The 5 chord D, G, A, B, C, D. And then back to the 4 chord. This is really unusual because most people would think that it's in the key of C because the verses start and end in C. But you realise that actually the resolution comes in the G chord at the end of the chorus. So the verses, we just go C to D and then back to C. Remember, if you find that D is squished, you can use 2 fingers like this if you want. I like to just put all 3 fingers in that second fret. And the first verse, we play it six times through this progression, and all other verses 4 times. It will sound something like this. Mark the hoople and the game of life. Yeah, 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 yeah. Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match. Yeah, 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 yeah. And it just carries round and round like that. Really, really simple. Okay. Then in the chorus we go to the 2 chord, a really nice melancholic chord which I love. A minor here. Andy, did you hear about this one? Resolution to the 1 chord, the G. Then we do it again. Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Then we do it one more time. Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? This time a quick C. Hey baby, are you losing touch? Andy Kaufman used to do an Elvis routine. That's why that lyric's in there. So in terms of the beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just watch that measure with the G and the C in 2 beats on each. All right. Now the chorus is I'm not going to lie, there's a tricky chord in this, but I still want you to try it and give it your best. I'll show you the way I do it more kind of simply, just to get going. So we've got G, the 1 chord, A minor's 2 chords, 4 chords C, and then we go back to the 3 chord B minor. That's the tough one because you've got to bar the whole of the 2nd fret and then reach up with your ring finger to the 4th fret of the G string. Couple of things to notice here. Notice I'm using the lower part of my finger because that's the strongest part of the finger. It allows it to stay straight rather than bending like it does when you do it like this sometimes. I also push that finger as close to that metal fret as possible. If I come back here, I'll get buzzing and chucking, whereas I come here, I'll get clean notes. And then we reach over, try and keep your wrist as straight as possible. We reach over with that ring finger. Okay. So quite tricky because we've got 2 beats on each. G, A minor, C, B minor. All right, try it with me. 2, 3, 4. G, A minor, C, B minor. Good. And then the next bit's easier. G, A minor. Notice I use my 1st finger this time because the D that follows it is easier then. Then we have the 1st bit again. G, A minor, C, B minor. And then we resolve that to an A minor at the end. Okay. Now there is another way you can do it. You could use bar chords for this. You could bar the G or you could do a normal G. That's like an F shape moved up 2 frets. You could do your A minor with your 3rd finger, play a C chord as a B flat shape, and then you can bring it back here for the B minor. So that would look something like this. If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. So some people like bar chords. I find them a bit tough on the old fingers. So I prefer to just do mostly open apart from that B minor. Now if you really struggle with that B minor, you can just play the bottom 3 strings and try not to hit the G string. Okay, just to make it a bit easier for B minor. But give it a go if you can. It's a great song. And if you can't, just strum the verses along with me, C and D. Just strum the pre-chorus, all right? Don't feel you've got to do everything right away if you're starting out. And that's really important when you go to your uke clubs and stuff for the first time. People can get really overwhelmed and kind of a bit afraid at uke clubs. But just play the bits that you can do, and that's absolutely fine. You can just keep the rhythm going away from the strings if you want to. No one will know, and just enjoy yourself. Really, really key. All right. The other thing you can do is, rather than strumming, just to make it a bit easier, just strum each chord once. Gives you more time to change, right? So don't feel you've got to keep the strumming going all the time as well. But that's the chorus. That's your, if you believe they put a man on the moon. Just like that, and then the instrumental just goes between A minor and D. Nice and easy, right? Just does that 3 times and we hang on it. Okay, Now that happens. I think for some reason we forgot to write it on the sheets, but I think that happens after the second chorus. Let me just check that. Excuse me. Just check as they're in. Yeah, we'll do that after the second. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. After the second chorus, okay? So we'll go verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then we'll do that instrumental, and then verse, pre-chorus, chorus to finish. All right, let's give it a go. Let's give it our best shot. So it's the same thing through 3 times pretty much. It's just we're putting a little instrumental after the second time. Okay, let's give it a go then, guys, and have loads of fun with this. As I say, if you get stuck, just strum the verses and just enjoy it. It's such a great fun. Okay, fantastic. Here we go then. So I'll stay here. Oh, what do I use for a backing track? I'm really old fashioned, to be honest. You can get like proper backing tracks on YouTube and stuff like that, but I've got my iPad. And it has, you guys probably, some of you will have iPhones and iPads, and it has something called voice memos where you can just record yourself. So I just record myself playing the solo on my uke, and then I play it back when I show you how to do it. So yeah, really, really simple. This one doesn't have much of a solo on it because it's just that A minor D bit. But if you wanted to solo, it would be the G major pentatonic or the E minor pentatonic. All right, one of the ones we did earlier. Okay, I'll just crack on with this because I'm running out of time a bit, and I need to go and I've been told my dinner's ready. Okay, so let's give it a go from the top, starting with C, D, C, just as a little intro. And I'll stay around for 5-10 minutes at the end just to see if there's any questions and to see how you're all doing. But massive thank you to everyone that supported me tonight. Remember, if you want to send a virtual tip in my jar, it's paypal.me/ukeroom. Details are in the description and the comments at the start. Thanks to everyone that supported me. I really appreciate it. Sometimes when people send me the PayPal, it doesn't come up with an email address. It just says the PayPal it came from. So if you've ever sent me any tips and I haven't replied, I hope you don't think I'm being rude. I'm so appreciative of all of them. But when I click reply, sometimes it just goes to PayPal and not an email address, so I'm not able to. But it really helps keep me going. So thank you. All right, enough talking. Let's give it a go. Let's just roll a CDC to get us going. 2, 3, 4, C, and D, and back to C. That's all we're going to do for these verses. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this a couple of times as an intro. The hoople and the game of life. Yeah. Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match. Yeah. Monopoly 21, checkers and chess. Yeah. Mr. Fred Blassie in a breakfast mess. Let's play Twister, let's play Risk. Yeah. I'll see you in heaven if you make the list. Yeah. yeah, yeah, yeah. Newton got beans by the apple goods. Yeah, 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 yeah. Egypt was troubled by the horrible asp. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Charles Darwin had the gall to ask. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pre-chorus. So Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Hey baby, are we losing touch? Chorus. If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up his sleeve, nothing is cool. Instrumental. Take a solo. Get ready for verse 3. Here we go. Here's a little adage for the never believer. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here's a little ghost for the offering. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here's a truck stop instead of St. Peter's. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Andy Kaufman's gone wrestling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pre-chorus. So Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Hey baby, are we losing touch? Chorus. If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up his sleeve, nothing is cool. Yeah. If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up his sleeve, nothing is all. Instrumental. And let's end on G. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry about mucking out the chorus. If I ever muck up a song on Kanikapila, it's always the last one. I think my brain just goes kaput by that point. But hopefully you managed to all follow along anyway. That chorus is really tricky, isn't it? I said last week, you guys are kind of like sadomasochists, because whenever we have the people's choice, where you go, excuse me, choose on Facebook which song to do, you guys always pick the hardest one. So that's good. That's good. You can blame yourselves. You like the challenge, and that's all good. And I love it. And the hard ones are often the good ones, aren't they? Let's face it. That's an absolute classic. I love that song. So don't worry, it's all good. Harry's saying, cheers to all. We'll be travelling to Fort Lauderdale next Monday. Isn't that mad? So he'll miss Kanikapila. I will be here for Kanikapila on Monday. It's going to be my last hurrah before I go to travel to America. So do join me next Monday if you're around for our last Kanikapila before the cruise. Then I'll be away for 2 weeks, so I won't be able to answer any emails or have any live lessons or Kanikapilas. So any questions or anything, I've had quite a few this week and I'm just working through them at the moment. Let me know this week if you can, because as I say, when I'm at sea, I don't know, I probably will have Wi-Fi access, but I don't know how often I'll get on, because I'll be teaching people ukulele and having loads of fun and being a tourist. So any questions with anything, get in touch this week. As I say, next Monday we'll have a Kanikapila. Don't forget, I am around Wednesday as well, where we're going to do our Q&A session, which I'm actually really excited about this, because the last Q&A turned into a really nice conversation and I think we all learned quite a lot from it. So That's this Wednesday at 3:30. And if you can't make it, you can watch back the replay anytime you want, and they're all archived on my website, Matt Stead Ukulele, so you'll see it there. Oh, thanks, Ted. Me too. It's going to be great. I was practicing some of the songbook today, so I could remember all the songs and play along with you guys, and, well, teach some of them to you, which is really exciting. So, yeah, really, really looking forward to seeing you there. It's going to be loads of fun. Thanks for your lovely messages, guys. And don't worry, as soon as we get back from the cruise, we'll be back into it as well. So loads of exciting stuff to come. Do check out Facebook on my website as well for news, because as well as like new Beatles lessons that are appearing sporadically all the time now, I'll have details on things like that CD club I was telling you about, where I'm going to send CDs with some music handwritten, so it'll be a real nice kind of traditional way of learning an instrument, something I've always wanted to do. So I'll be launching that later this year, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be loads of fun. Massive thank you to Esther and Karen and Indrani and Barbara for all their helps with the sheets. I couldn't do it without them. And I mean, they're magnificent. Look at that. I'm even wearing my schoolboy hat. Don't forget to check out the extra bits in the back as well, because there's so much fun. We've got the fascinating facts, loads of those. Sometimes there's a little quiz as well. Esther will sometimes add a little quiz in the back as well. So do check out all of the sheets, and thank you so much to you, my 4 admins for helping me out and designing and coming up with these beautiful sheets, which are just wonderful. So thanks, guys. Okay, right, I think I'm going to head off, because I think my tummy is rumbling and I'm going to go and get some food. Thank you once more for joining me for a wonderful Monday, my favourite day of the week. It used to be my least favourite, now it's my favourite because of you guys and all the fun we have. So thank you. I'll be back next Monday, and hopefully I'll see some of you on Wednesday too. Take care, Yukon, and much love. Bye.